Hey y'all, it's me. This is going to be the second or third attempt to actually make this little video. I keep getting distracted and on the phone. Unlike with a GoPro, when you stop it, it's kind of like you're done. I know there's probably a way to splice things together. I haven't learned that. I'm going to have Chelsea or Aaron one teach me. So anyway, let's just start fresh. Alright, as you can see, I am in the garden. I'm working on tying up and cleaning up my tomato plants. Hugh put all of the little tobacco stakes in. You can see it's just like a jungle down in there. We have had a solid week of rain, and so the weeds have gotten ahead of me along with everything else. And that's okay. That's okay. We'll get it caught up. Now that I'm finally able to get back in the garden, I wasn't able to get in the garden, not just because of the rain, but because, I told y'all that I had damaged my calf. So I've been kind of not out of commission really for the last week and a half, but out of the garden for the last week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. Let me bring you down here. I don't know if you can hear me from way up there or not, but I'm using just grass string and tie a little loop in the end and put it around the base of my plant. And I don't pull it tight, and I don't want to scratch the plant itself, so I just kind of hold it and snug it, and then just go around the post and around the plant without actually sliding it, because if you slide it around the plant, you are gonna damage it just a little bit. And then I will just loop it so that I can pull a string and untie it when I'm ready to go up higher. But with me, I don't know about some of you all that farm, this is really what look at this little ladybug. Hey baby. Oh, I can't get my camera to clear. Anyway, I don't know how to zero it in, but anyway, there's a little yellow ladybug on the back of there. You can kind of see it, but I'm too close or too far or something. All right, but with me, what was I saying? Whatever. I don't let them get higher than my tobacco stakes, and the reason for that is because I want them to put all of their energy into the fruit itself and not into just making more leaves. So I will, when they get up this high, as high as this tobacco stake, which is about 4 feet, then I just go ahead and top it. And then that's as far as it's going to go. Now, what I do, let me see if you're looking at the back of my head or if you can see what I'm doing here. What I do is I actually just cut off these leaves so that they're not touching the ground. I don't want them touching the ground or even actually being too close to the ground. Actually, I'm going to just go ahead and cut that one off completely. But the reason is because when the dirt splashes on it, they will actually have more of a chance of having some disease develop. And yeah, and I go through and cut out that one's already developed to the point I'm going to leave it alone. But you can see we've got all these little yellow blooms on there. Look at that. So we've got little, what Michaela used to call bomatos, developing. And this guy's going to be a two-headed plant. I will get this little... Or am I going to do that? Yeah, I'm going to let it go. All right. My nose is itching. Okay. I've always enjoyed doing this type of work. I like working in the tomatoes. But, as you can see, your hands get really, really yucky. And it's almost like a tar. I mean, it's really sticky and it's hard to get off. But I find that coconut oil, just plain coconut oil, works really well to get things like this off. And also when I'm painting, it gets even house paint. It will take house paint off. Hugh and Aaron use it for motor oil when they've got grease all over their hands. All those types of things. Let me see. Turn you this direction. I'll be moving you around quite a bit. Sorry, girls. But I don't know what there is in the coconut oil, but it works really, really well. And as you can see, I've got, you know, pretty good length of my grass string left, so that I can continue on up as the plant grows. But y'all might have some secrets with your tomatoes, how you keep them healthy and strong. I've just found that just going ahead and cutting those lower leaves so that they're not touching the ground, getting rid of any leaves actually that touch the ground, works to the tomatoes' benefit. But I know some of y'all were concerned about my leg, where I had damaged it last week or week before last now, I guess. It's been a long while. And I gotta tell you that Chelsea had been concerned because she said the bruising taking that long to come out and as significant as the bruising had been, she was concerned that it might have been a tear in my muscle. So even though it's not really hurting now at this point, the only time that it hurts is if I step wrong, and the swelling is pretty much gone, and so is the bruising. But I decided I would just go ahead and see an orthopedic or an ortho dude, whatever they're called. So I went to the facility behind our hospital here in Haywood County on Thursday, and I saw a PA in there, and she had me move in several different directions, and she said, I don't think that there's a tear in your muscle, because if there were, I don't think that you could move and stand up on your tiptoes and all that sort of thing on that side. So, but she was willing to do an MRI if I wanted, and I said, no, I don't really want to do that. I just wanted to make sure that I don't have to worry about it, really. Because you'd hate to put something off like that and then still have to have surgery in a year or something. But she said that she thought that I was good to wait, and just to, you know, if it's not pretty much completely healed up in a month's time, then to come back in. And I think it's going to be, because it's already so much better. But I have been very, very, very careful to make sure I haven't done anything to re-injure it. The only time it bothers me is if I just step wrong, so I have to be careful with that. And so I'm good to go. I'm back in the garden, and as I'll show you in a minute, it's none too soon. This little thing is so weedy, but I don't think I could have done anything about the weeds this week anyway, because not only we're talking also about the rain, and it was a good week of rain, which we needed, but that certainly puts a garden upside down. But all right. Yeah, I've got little yellow plants all over all these things. Yay. Let's get rid of these suckers. Yay. That one's hiding behind the little flowers. Hugh's over there making all kinds of noise. But I know some of you have been concerned because nobody's put any videos out in the last week or so. And that's kind of it in a nutshell. It's basically just the bad weather. But also, Aaron and Aiden went down to Myrtle Beach fishing. And they had a really good time. And then just the bad weather has kind of kept everybody inside and doing other things. I think Aaron and Corey have made some shorts, just, you know, in some of their little loafing things. And I might start doing some shorts too, girls, just to kind of just touch base when I can't really be outside doing a whole lot. And especially right now, until my leg's completely healed, I'm not going to go back up to the graveyard to walk. But like this past week, I did something I've been wanting to do for a long while. I reorganized my laundry room / tool room / office area, and just moved it around in a big circle. But moved my desk where it couldn't kind of get, you know, anytime there's a flat surface close to a door, you know what happens. It just, everything ends up on it. And so my desk was most of the time just kind of unusable because it just covered up with stuff. And it wasn't just the boys, it was me too. So I moved it out of the fray, and I moved the tool area where it would be more accessible for everybody. And that was a good thing. So I spent my downtime, to me, I think, quite productively. And when we go inside in a minute, I will show you. I'm very, very proud of it. It will make everything much, much, much. You see that great big right there? Are you even looking at what I'm doing? I'm sorry. Had you off in Timbuktu. I keep forgetting to move you when I move. Well, anyway, there was a great big, I've already cut it. What Hugh calls, here's another one, I'll show you. See, that's growing in between the main leaf and the stalk. It's called a sucker, and we want to break that out because otherwise your plant spends too much time just trying to keep up with the growth of all this extra stuff that's not really serving a purpose. A sucker will actually, you know, produce tomatoes, but I'd rather the main branches of my tomato plants produce the tomatoes and keep my plant from having to put too much energy into all the extra leaves and such. But I love this little pouch. Let me show you. I hope you're looking at them. This little pouch on my little trimmers. I got those from the Gardener's Workshop, and they are sharp. Oh my goodness, they are sharp. But that was a happy purchase. I've used them and used them now. They're great for cutting flowers and trimming up tomato plants. And I'm sure I'll use them for multiple things. Probably not so much for anything really woody, but that's all right. I want to show you the color of this particular plant. It is just gorgeous. I'm thinking, I have some tomato plants in here that will produce black tomatoes, and I'm thinking that this is probably it. One of them. See how dark the little stalks are, and how dark even the leaves are, or the flower plants are. See all the way down how dark that stalk is? It's very pretty. Like a dark purple. See? But I will definitely show you when these things start producing tomatoes. And I got these, if anybody's interested in, it's still not too late to start tomato seed or pepper seed in most zones, because they're a warm weather plant. But I got these at a company called Rare Seed, and they're located in Missouri. One day, if I get a chance to go visit my sister out there, I would love to go to that store. Looks like a great big seed store. And how much fun would that be? It's supposed to turn the weather's supposed to turn nasty here again on Monday. And speaking of nasty weather, girls, I feel so badly for those of you in Texas right now. And just the extreme heat down there. Do everything you can, and I know you are, to stay safe. That's just awful. I feel so badly for you. I've never lived in an area that had real extreme heat. I grew up in Michigan. In Michigan, it was just hot and humid. It's kind of like Florida. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't realize that. But the humidity in Michigan, because of the Great Lakes, you had a lot of lake effect snow in the winter, a lot of humidity in the summer. So a lot of times the weather there was pretty much real similar to Florida's weather. It's just hot, like in the mid to high 80s or 90s, and 100% humidity. And my bedroom was in the upstairs of an unair conditioned old house, and it was miserable. It was literally miserable. But we had fans. Let me show you again what these suckers look like. If some of you are new to gardening, now you see this plant. You see if I don't know how to get this camera over there. All right, let's try that. All right, you see this plant where the stalk is? This is the stalk right here. I've got leaves in the way. And then you see where right between the stalk and that main leaf coming out, this one is called I told you a minute ago, I've already forgotten. But anyway, it's something you want to get rid of. So when you see that, and see there's a big one, and yes, I am going to go ahead and get rid of it. Let me set my little camera down. But because that one is so big, I'm going to get rid of it with my scissors. See, that's the main stalk right there. And you can see that the flowers are already coming out on it. But let me see if I see any more. Yeah, there's a little one. And there's a little one. But those things just take the juice out of your plant. You don't want that. Alright, I'm feeling a little bit of raindrop. It's supposed to sprinkle this afternoon, but I don't think that it's supposed to come this early in the day. But right now, anything's a surprise. Alright. But I did something today that I've resisted doing for years. I don't know why, because I guess I just thought that was for old people. And maybe I'm just finally ready to admit that I'm old people. I don't know. But I ordered for myself a little garden seat / stool. If you turn it one side, it's like a kneeling bench. And if you turn it to the other side, you can sit down on it. So after this injury to my leg, it just occurred to me that there's nothing wrong with having a little extra help in the garden, right? So that's what I've done. and it should be here Wednesday. I'll show it to y'all when it gets here. I'm very excited about it. All right. And I keep forgetting to put you where I'm working, so you didn't get to be there. We're missing a tomato right there. I don't know what. No, we're not. It's just leaned all the way over. That one looks like it's might possibly struggle a little bit. We shall see. We'll give it a chance. But I was also thinking about the fact that, you know, if y'all are worried about us, there's usually a way that you can contact us, you know, through the many different venues for the mountain farm, either here at mine or Aaron's, or I think they have like a Facebook page. Just lots of different ways to find out that we're all okay, just been busy or doing whatever. But it occurred to me that there's, you know, I don't know how to get a hold of some of y'all if I stop seeing your name pop up, or anything. If I would just encourage you to please, you know, let your family know that, you know, if I end up in the hospital or something, I would like for my friends at the encouragement circle to know, and so they can kind of keep up with me. But I wish there were a better way for us actually to communicate than just through the comment section. I never have been able to get things set up with the Facebook page where it's not, I don't even think I pay attention to it anymore, because it's just, I don't know how to do it. And Chelsea works so many hours and gets so little sleep because she works graveyard. And at one point she tried to figure out how to fix it for me. And she said, Mom, I'm afraid that's above my pay grade, and she couldn't get it to work. And at some point, it just seems like I'm going so many different directions at once that I forget to check this venue or check that thing or check the other. So I'm resistant really to doing that, because it just it's just one more step that I'm not sure I'll keep up with. So anyway, wow, that one's really hanging down far. But I would like to know that everybody is staying safe in these storms and whatnot, because our weather is just crazy, girls. And we have, I think, all of us grown close enough to each other that we just want to be able to check on each other's whereabouts and that everything's good. But if anybody has any suggestions on how we can do all of this, let me know. Otherwise, just ask your family to be sure and just got to clean this one up before I can even do anything with it, because I can't even find the stalk. That is significant right there. But I do know, you know, everybody is busy with their own life and own families and all that, and certainly I am. So it is hard to keep up with each other, but if it's ever something really significant, just ask someone that you know on the circle to just touch base with one of us on here, so we can just know that, you know, you've had some damage on your home in a bad storm, or you're in the hospital, or whatever. You know, I'm probably not that anybody can actually do anything about it other than just to send love and hugs and let you know that, you know, we want the best for you. I don't even know if any of that made sense, but if it did, I guess that's one of the things about the technological age that we live in. We are so connected with so many people, but from a distance. You know what I mean? Everything just seems to be from a distance. Oh well. And that one's way over yonder. Yeah, these should have been tied up 2 weeks ago. But they'll be all right. They might be stressed just for a day or two, but then they'll recover and give us all some beautiful tomatoes soon. I have a hard time even keeping up with my sisters. Life is so busy and for all of us, and I used to be able to go home. I call Michigan home because that's where I spent 15 years of my life, from age 4 to age 19 when I met Hugh. That's where my brothers both live, or one of my brothers lives there part-time. The other half the year he lives in Florida. And that's where one of my sisters lives. And I used to, before my daddy passed, we were there at least twice a year. And then after my daddy passed, my mom ended up moving here, and she lived here for 17 years or so. And so I would go back and forth a little bit. When she got to the point where she had a hard time traveling, didn't really go at all. So it's hard to get away when you have so many critters. And besides, when Aaron got married and started having little ones, when we went on vacation, we went to where they were. And of course my sisters certainly understood that because they're grannies too. But anyway, I'm going to tie this one more tomato up, and then I think I'm going to stop for a few minutes. I've been out here for a couple hours, and I actually enjoy working in the garden better after supper in the cool of the evening. However, I think it's possibly supposed to rain at some point today, so I was trying to get as much done as I could before that happened. This one was covered up in growth. I used to have a really hard time cutting all this growth off until I realized how much benefit it was for my plant and how much better the fruit was. So it's all good, girls. It doesn't hurt it a bit. As a matter of fact, it's kind of beneficial for it. Alright, come here, little plant. Let's put you over here and try to hold it so you're not scrubbing this grass string around the stalk, because it doesn't like that. It doesn't like to be skint. So I go around it pretty easily. Not that I don't skin it at all, but pretty easily. And then I'm just going to do like a slip knot so that I can easily untie it when I'm ready. Alright, let's cut this side. mostly done. I'll be able to finish the rest this evening. Let's take a little walk. See, I've got some teeny tiny pathetic looking little plants with flowers on them. It's kind of sad, isn't it? Oh gracious. Such a strange garden year. Strange year. But the tomatoes are all looking pretty good. And they've got some nice looking little blooms happening on them. So we will get some tomatoes. And down here I've cleaned up underneath of them a bit. Cleaned up underneath of these a bit. Cleaned up some of my okra a bit. And these little squash. And these little sweet alyssum, they're still going strong, covered in weeds. Then I have 2 little patches of snapdragons. They're looking really nice. I need to cut a new little bouquet for my kitchen because it's getting kind of sad looking. And the dill is just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And then these little, I think they're little straw flowers. Uh-oh, and I've got Japanese beetle right there. That's not good. You need to get off. I need to bring some soapy water down here and do the thing. But they're getting ready to open up. They're going to be all pretty. Look at that. Yay. Took them a long time coming on. But I'm just amazed at these dill. These dill are gorgeous. And then there's another little patch of snaps. So pretty. And these carrots are full of weeds. But I pulled some last night, and let me see if I can get one to pull. They come up fairly easy because the ground is, look at that. That's just funny, y'all. Oh my gosh, that's funny. I'm making a pot roast for supper, so I'll just add him to the brothers. He'll go in with them. And this broccoli that we've talked about so many times, I was going to cut it and throw it across the fence to the cattle. But it is so filled with little beneficials and butterflies that they love it, apparently. And as I'm speaking, I don't see anything, but they were on it earlier when I was over here. So I decided I'm going to let them finish blooming, and then I'll cut them down. Because they have been, and my family didn't like the taste of them, but they're so pretty, and they are such nice plants apparently for the pollinators that I probably will grow a little patch of them each year just for that purpose. But anyway, girls, Hugh pulled some of the onions yesterday for supper. You can see this is just a weed patch right now. There's nothing growing in there, but way down there at that end, the little feathery looking thing, that's the asparagus. That I need to clean out because I'll have some more plants to go in it pretty soon. And Hugh has been eating his little cabbages. But my peppers look absolutely awful. You can see, I mean, it's weedy in here. Got to get them weeded, but they're struggling to do anything. So I have, actually day before yesterday, I planted another tray of jalapenos, and I planted a tray of bell peppers and some serranos. So, see, he's been pulling those out. And the sunflowers are getting ready to start popping open. I'm anxious to see them. They're small, but I planted them pretty close together because I wanted them to be, you know, not the size of a dinner plate. These I wanted just to be small enough to put in vases. So they're more the size of what you would need maybe for a bouquet. Something's eating on them. Haven't been in here enough to keep a good eye on them. So we're going to have to check this out. Wonder what's eating on you. That's not good. I'll have to keep an eye on this. If you have any thoughts, girls, give me your ideas. You can see the peppers over here also look equally bad. Oh well. I'll touch base with y'all in just a couple days. Hopefully I'll get to be in the garden tomorrow and try to get it cleaned out. I'm going to just bring the weed eater down and go ahead and weed eat these pathways. Pretty little cabbage. And check and see what's going on here. But, alright. I've been long-winded again today. Made you stay in the garden working with me. If you were here, I'd have you in the garden actually working with me. But, alright girls. Love you. I hope your weekend is wonderful. And those of you in storm zone areas, please be safe. And just let us know you're okay. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.